Okay, in today's lesson we're going to be looking at ratio and tying in some of the things we've been looking at previously in regards to direct proportion. So the first thing we should realise, or we should remember, is that get the pen working. When y and x are in direct proportion, we know that we have a constant k. So that means we can have a rule of y equals kx. Now thinking about that, we can actually rearrange this equation so that we have k in front. So we can have k equals y over x. So what we're saying here is the ratio of the values between y and x will be constant. So they'll be equal to k. Now that might sound a little bit confusing, so it's probably easier if we look at a visual example. So what we've got is some data here in this table, and if we take the first values, and to make it easier, rather than use t and v, we'll use y and x. Our y value of 5 and our x value of 1. Okay, so if that's going to be, and we know that equals 5, so therefore k equals 5, and whichever set of values we pick, it's always going to equal 5. So if I take 10 over 2, or 15 over 3, or 20 over 4, that equals 5. So whatever numbers we pick, our ratio between them are always going to be constant. They're going to be the same. It's always going to be equal to our k value. So let's apply that to an actual question now. We've got Sharon, who's a part-time worker, and she works a fixed hourly rate, so it's the same amount per hour. She earns her pay, so P, equals $135. Okay, and the N value, which is the number of hours worked, is 6. So we've got that so far. That's information we already know. So what we're trying to do is summarise the question here into something that can be a little bit more meaningful for us. Now, sorry, what we'll probably do is we actually have these around the other way. So we would have our N value, which is the number of hours worked on top, which is 6, and our P value, which is in dollars on the bottom, which is 135. And we're asked to find how many hours, how much she gets paid when she works 11 hours. Now, what she gets paid is going to obviously be represented by X. So thinking about what we've just looked at up the top here, we can say that 135 over 6 is going to be the same as whatever this number is over 11. So whatever this number is x over 11, and we can solve from there. So we've got x, we're going to multiply by 11 on both sides, which means we end up with 135 times by 11 over 6. And when we put that into our calculator, we end up with x equals 247.5. So therefore, Sharon, working her part-time work for 11 hours, is going to be paid $247.50.